What's up, everyone? Welcome to the October 4th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoney's DFS. And as a reminder, be sure to click the link below to claim up to a $100 first match deposit bonus with PrizePicks. We have a 10-game MLB slate tonight. There are some weather concerns, so be sure to keep an eye on those while you're building your lineups. But for right now, we have 10 games, and we're going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top stacks, number 3, the Chicago White Sox are hosting Josh Winder. They're projected for 11% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack, but also a 12% chance of being the top value stack. Winder has struck out just 18.5% of hitters with a 4.5 xFIP so far this season. The White Sox lineup has been disappointing. Their active roster has a 98 WRC plus and 134 ISO this season, but there is still some upside in this lineup against Winder. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays taking on Nathan Eovaldi in Fenway Park. This is typically a park upgrade for the Rays, getting out of Tropicana Field and going into Fenway, but it is worth noting that it's only supposed to be about 50 degrees in Boston today, rainy, with the wind blowing in. So even if this game does go from a rain standpoint, it's not very favorable hitting weather that is working against the Rays, but there's not really anywhere that has favorable hitting conditions tonight, so it's not that much of an issue. Just worth noting that it's not the huge park grade that it normally would be because of the weather. Still, the Rays are projected for about 9% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and an 11% chance of being the top value stack. Eovaldi has been solid this year, striking out 22.4% of hitters with a 3.4 xFIP, but the Rays are an above average offense with a 108 WRC plus and 144 ISO so far this season. And number 1, the Los Angeles Angels taking on Cole Irvin tonight in Oakland. Another negative park shift for the Angels, just a difficult park to hit in. But again, that's kind of a theme for this slate, whether it be because of parks, weather, or both. So not a huge concern. The Angels are only projected for 6% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack tonight against Irvin. Irvin has only struck out 17.2% of hitters with a 4.32 xFIP so far this year, while the Angels roster has a 115 WRC plus and 183 ISO. Now, before we take a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, take advantage. You'll get access to behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I reference in these videos. So again, that's promo code AdamMLB. Use it and get 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now looking at the top 3 tournament pitchers, number 3, Lucas Giolito, hosting the Minnesota Twins at $9,600. Giolito's had a relatively disappointing season by his standards, but he's still a solid pitcher, striking out 25.7% of hitters with a 3.59 xFIP and a FIP just north of 4. Giolito is projected for 10% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. The Twins' active roster has a 108 WRC plus and 21.1% strikeout percentage. Number 2, Zach Gallen taking on the Milwaukee Brewers, not the Minnesota Brewers, in Milwaukee. He is priced at $10,500 and projected for 15% ownership. He has an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. Gallen is having an excellent season, striking out 26.9% of hitters with a 3.27 xFIP. The Brewers' active roster is above average in terms of production with a 106 WRC plus, but they also have an elevated 23.8% strikeout percentage. And number 1, Justin Verlander, $11,200, hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. The Astros right-hander is projected for 21% ownership with a 10% chance of being the top scoring pitcher. Verlander went 7 innings and greater than 100 pitches his last time out, which does give me a little bit of optimism for tonight's start. The Astros aren't playing for anything. There's no real reason for them to push Verlander, but that said, they still let him go out and do his thing last time out. Hopefully it's the same situation here. And one other piece of information to keep an eye on is that while the Phillies' active roster is above average with a 111 WRC plus, they have a 23.1% strikeout percentage, but also they clinched a playoff berth last night. So there is a chance that we get a watered down Phillies lineup for Verlander, which would make him look even better. Overall this year, Verlander has struck out 26.9% of hitters with a 3.32 xFIP. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Chicago White Sox; number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays; number 1, the Los Angeles Angels. And the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Lucas Giolito; number 2, Zach Gallen; and number 1, Justin Verlander.